Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
And here we go.
Welcome to Heroes Podcast. We are going to talk about Infinity
War.
Hopefully you guys have seen it because we're not going to hold back. We'll spoil the hell out of this right now.
We'll put down on the description that there is going to be spoilers, a lot of them, and then we're also going to come up with theories or thoughts on what's coming up next. So
if you haven't seen this, skip this episode.
Watch the movie and then come back.
Yes.
Or you can go listen to previous episodes, then watch the movie, then come back.
Yes.
But either way, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch the movie.
Right away.
There's so much stuff that happened in this
It was a good movie.
So much stuff.
It was a really good movie.
Action-packed, just like from the very beginning, just goes.
What I really did appreciate about this is how he had so many characters,
Yeah.
but they broke up the story where it didn't feel like everyone was stepping on everyone else's toes.
And the team worked where everybody, all the separated teams that they had, it worked together perfectly.
Well, yeah, I think every character they had in the movie fit for the story.
Yeah.
So none of the characters felt like they were forced. You didn't feel like, well, what the hell was he there for? He didn't do nothing. It seemed like everybody was there and everybody had a purpose.
And everyone fit.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you didn't show a black suit.
Oh, man, come on.
So we got a couple of things wrong. But I think we got a couple of things right.
Yeah. I also have a couple theories on what's going on.
Yeah.
Get right at it. A lot of people disappeared.
But remember, a lot of our theory before the movie, we all thought that the main character was going to go, like Thor was going to be gone, right. Captain America and Iron Man, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, see, okay. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of it then.
Papas.
The main characters from Phase 1 that were in Avengers, none of them went.
The original Avengers.
Right, they're still here. Everybody else is supposedly gone. A lot of people and a lot of you guys that have seen the movie, the feelings that I keep hearing about is, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. I'm still in shock. I didn't feel that way.
When I'm going to be honest, when I left the movie, it felt like Marvel punched me in the stomach and walked away.
Really?
But I didn't get that.
I mean...
But then I think, now I have to admit that I'm jaded.
But the reason I think I didn't feel that way, because for me, it's kind of like, oh, cliffhanger, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait. It's gonna get resolved in the next part,
Avengers
4, which we don't know the title of because the Russo brothers are holding that, which is I'm appreciative of that.
I'm gonna tell you like this: for the first time, you felt that you wanted a villain to win, because I give it credit. Thanos.
Well, Thanos was done
bad,
really well.
He did.
Well, that's the only villain that they have.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but you cheer. You really don't cheer for a villain, and I was cheering for him in the end because he was like, he did what he had to do. He wanted the stone. That was it. I don't care who gets on my way. And he did it. And then what happened? He kicked back and I did it.
I haven't thought about that. Like, I really, really do. I mean, if you read the comic book.
Yeah.
Well, remember, we can't go with the comic books because they switch a lot of stuff. And that's what was my thing.
But it is still kind of close to that
comic. Because if you read the comic book, he did the same thing.
Yeah.
But at the end, they reversed everything back.
Mm-hmm. And
then he was sitting and relaxing.
Yeah.
Who's to say that scene you just saw is not the end of part 4?
Yeah, very possible.
Oh, yeah.
It is possible. Yeah. So, I mean, when he snapped his fingers, everyone disappeared. Like I said, we're spoiling things. Everyone a major people.
Half the galaxy disappears.
Yeah. Half the galaxy disappears, including some characters. Yes. He just see him sitting down and relaxing, which is what he said he would do in the movie.
Right.
So, now, if you're basing that on a comic book, a lot of the things didn't happen because key characters weren't there, like Adam Warlock yet.
And Death. Remember?
And Lady Death, I think they kind of went away from that.
Yeah, Silver Surfer wasn't there.
But they even brought, they kind of put like a rest called like Death. I didn't because I didn't see them make out. No, I mean, but instead of using Death, they use him.
You didn't see that part?
Yeah, is that a cut?
That's probably
just
like
so
the
you
ending credit. The ending credit.
If you guys didn't know, Thanos is in love with Death. It's a female, but I guess Nihai has other versions that he wants to see. So,
Red looks sexy.
well, it is Hugo Weaving, so I would.
It wasn't him.
No.
It was
Hugo Weaving didn't play him in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Well, his voice was down pat.
It was some guy from Walking Dead, right?
Yeah, it was a character from The Walking Dead that actually played him, and he was trying to imitate the voice of Hugo
Well, he
Weaving.
did a really good job.
He did a really good job, right?
Who was it now? And I'm curious. Please tell me not
I don't know.
No, it wasn't one of the more popular ones. It was more of the side characters.
Yeah,
he's
the big characters.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. There's no.
With the burn face?
No, I don't think so. But they do have a character who's known for doing impressions.
Well, maybe that was him.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, yeah.
I believe that's him.
He's done impressions.
Because
no,
on the
okay,
show,
no, I know the actor.
On Walking Dead, I think he was a gay character.
Yeah, yeah. So I know exactly who the actor is.
Yeah.
No.
Shut up.
But okay, now I know because he does a lot of celebrity impressions, and he's really good.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure Michonne, seeing that she's in the movie, is like, hey,
yeah, why not?
Yeah, use this guy. I'm pretty sure he's good. No, he did a great. I was convinced it was Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, in the beginning, I thought too, and then when I seen reviews and they were talking about it, that it wasn't.
Okay,
him.
So it was. Anyway, that scene. Just so if you guys didn't watch it, Red Skull was in it for like a little bit. That was his punishment for trying to be greedy and trying to get the stones himself. He had to sacrifice something, but I don't think he loved anything enough.
Right, that's what it was. And I was kind of glad that they did bring him back. Because
yeah,
when
they
he first
had
disappeared
to,
and
we wanted to see what happened with him.
Well,
yeah, I was like, okay, he's got to come back eventually.
When I saw the first Avenger, Captain America one,
right?
He gone.
Right.
But then I did the marathon of the one that led up to the very first Avengers movie.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, he didn't die. He was teleported someplace else. When I first saw it, it was just like, okay, he's gone. He's dead.
That's what everybody thought.
Yeah, but then when you see like Thor and you see the Bifrost open up and the portal opens up and the same thing happened and so now I get it. It made a little bit more sense. At that point, I thought he was just dead.
Yeah, which a lot of people thought.
Yeah. So when you watch him in sequence, you'll know it's kind of like, oh no, he was just teleported someplace else.
Right.
Yeah.
So that worked, and now you have what's happened to him ever since.
Right.
But it's been over 100 years he's been in this limbo because obviously he doesn't age or anything like that while he's there.
Yeah.
Now the characters that are gone, Groot. Pretty much all the Guardians of the Galaxy exception of Rocket.
No, and Star-Lord.
Star-Lord's gone.
No,
Is it Star-Lord?
It's only a Rocket and what is Gamora's sister?
Oh yeah, Nebula. That's right.
Yeah, but I don't really. Well, I guess she's one of the Guardians.
But wasn't Nebula in the comics? Wasn't she one of the people to wield the gauntlet?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, she's the one that took it away from Thanos.
Yeah, so
right. So she could be part of
the next.
Possible.
Very possible.
Because remember, he even said.
We'll get to that later.
Okay. So pretty much all the Guardians, with the exception of Rocket and Nebula, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man,
Winter Soldier, Falcon,
Black Panther, and that's all that.
Did War Machine go?
No, War Machine will stay there. Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
Right.
All those people are gone.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We said
Doctor Strange. I think we said, So all those people are gone. Now, it's all according to plan, in my eyes.
Yes.
Because of the simple reason that in one of the scenes, Doctor Strange saw 14 million versions and they only won one.
Right.
So he knows what's going to happen, so he had to give up the stone.
Yeah.
There's a couple key indicators because he, at the beginning, said, I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep the stone safe, whether it means letting the kid die or letting you die.
You want to talk about this now?
That's what the podcast is about.
Yeah, let's just throw everything.
So, to me...
Well, okay, there's a lot of parts where it all makes sense that way because, again, before he was even looking into the future to find out which way to go, what to do to stop Thanos. Mm-hmm. Before he sees that 14 million different ways to do it, he did not want to give up his stone.
And then he willingly,
Yeah,
exactly.
And then after he sees, that there's only one possible way to defeat Thanos, then he's willing to give up the stuff.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that it's actually Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's why he ended up giving the stone.
Which is where I wanted to go to when we were talking about Nebula. Now, Nebula was known in the comic books to have taken the gauntlet away from Thanos. But there's also in the comic books where Iron Man was able to wield the gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Captain America as well.
And in this Infinity War, Thanos actually tells Tony Stark, I know of you.
Yeah.
you've been in my head. I know who you are.
Well, even
so
when
somehow they've got a connection.
Well, not only that, but even in the movie, they said, "I respect you for what you're doing."
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, I'm not going to kill you right now. So the reason I feel that the original Avengers didn't pass is because he knows what happened with the Battle of New York. So in a way, he respects every single one of those characters because of that. Because kind of like, wow, you guys stopped me for the first, and then on top of it, Iron Man went up against him hand-to-hand combat. Mm-hmm. I'm like, look, I respect you, and I have a feeling that's why the original Avengers did not go.
Right, because didn't Iron Man cut him?
Yeah.
Right?
Iron Man's like,
Iron Man actually cut him.
He gave him a little nickel, like, oh, you did all that for a drop of blood.
There's a very good possibility that in the Avengers 4 that it might be Iron Man that gets the gauntlet and starts doing the reversal.
Well, I'm thinking like because Iron Man.
They might just give that up to him because
Iron Man was the first movie.
He was the first. Yeah.
So you want to?
No, I see that.
And in the other Avengers movies too, he's been kind of like the one person that knows where we've been headed.
Now I have a feeling there's going to be a combination of both. It's going to be him and Nebula.
Could very well be. Yeah. I mean, maybe Nebula will be helping to get the gauntlet off of Thanos.
Even Thor was able to take him down. I mean. In the end, he was the one that pretty much took Thanos down.
Yeah, he just stabbed him in the chest. Yeah.
But I mean, if it would have been the head, that's a whole different story. But,
well, that's exactly what he said. Yeah. But in a way, I kind of don't want the characters to come back.
I don't either. I'm hoping they die off.
No, and I'm being serious.
But it's not going to happen.
No, I know. Yeah, and the reason
I want Spider-Man black suit.
So, the reason being is that, and this will lead into what you want, is Peter Parker's dead. Mm-hmm. What a better way to bring Miles Morales in?
Oh yeah,
and he wears a black costume.
And we've talked about that before. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of other characters that can replace everyone.
The only one that would and even
the only one
who's to say that who Rocket Raccoon and Nebula don't start because they have a rotating.
Yeah, they have a rotating.
Well, you've got the Ravagers.
Yeah.
We already talked about them. They already presented them, so they can very well come in and become the new
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So now you got a replacement for the Guardians. You have a replacement for Spider-Man. The only one you can't even like Nihai brought up before. It's kind of like now that Wakanda doesn't have a king, it does have a queen. And she has been played. She had played the Black Panther before.
They might not even show him in a coma. They just might think he's gone. So let her.
Why would they put him in a coma? No, he evaporated.
No, in the comics when she became the Black Panther.
So
I'm saying like maybe they'll change the story and be like, okay, he's gone.
Well, either way, she's monarchy, so she's pretty much next in line, no matter what. Now, the only one they can't really replace is Doctor Strange, but they have Wong, who's been, he could take over Sorcerer Supreme for a while until, because ultimately it's a mantle. Yeah. Sorcerer Supreme is a mantle. The only one we've known in comic books so far is the Ancient One and Doctor Strange.
Right.
There's not to say that anybody else could take over for Sorcerer Supreme. Now, that being said, you just put in new characters. Mm-hmm. You brought in fan favorites like with Miles Morales, and what a better motivation. It's kind of like Spider-Man died during this event, so I will take over because I'm developing these spider powers or whatever the case is. So you could bring in all these other characters and refresh.
Well, it's very possible.
Because there was even one character that I may have seen. A lot of the trailers that they showed did not wind up in the movies, just like the Incredible Hulk.
A lot of parts in that trailer.
Didn't show up. Loki's dead. Gamora. I mean, granted, everyone can be brought back. I mean, Vision's death scene proved that. The Scarlet Witch disappeared. Scarlet Witch disappeared also. Yeah, like I said, just original. I mean, all these characters can be retconned, and I did see in one of the trailers. It didn't show up in the movie, so I did see, like, in the Battle of New York, a character running out who looked like Riri, which is the new Ironheart.
Oh, really?
Riri
I must have missed that part.
Somebody was somebody point.
Car commercial.
No.
Yeah,
he's talking about
with the girl.
No, it was somebody running out. Again, they also did reshoots, and I think that's probably one of the things. I have a feeling that another thing that could be possibility that has happened before is a spell could be put on the Infinity Stone. The Eye of Agamotto, that could actually probably put the essence of Doctor Strange in the stone, because they do trapped in the Soul Stone, do get trapped, and then for him to travel in time. He could have traveled in time for all we know before he disappeared.
Yeah.
I just have a lot of theories, but
okay. Let's talk about the Infinity War trailer. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in the Infinity War trailer that didn't even come up in this movie.
Correct.
You know, like you just said, that very last scene where they show most
Hulk.
of the Avengers, with Hulk running through the forest, and in this movie they never made it to the forest.
Yeah.
So obviously, and the other thing you have to think about too is it's not like they would go and pay for the CGI for Hulk
or just
for a trailer.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's got to be
But
shown somewhere
now, the
else.
one thing that I did like, I had to explain it to a couple people, is the Hulk refusing to change.
Right.
He got his ass beat.
Well,
Yeah.
And that's never happened to him.
Yeah.
So Stan Lee, when he created the character, said the Hulk is a 2-year-old throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Now you make him 10 feet tall and give him incredible strength. That's exactly what the Hulk is. That's why he can't talk in full sentences. He's a 2-year-old.
Right.
So now you just scolded and slapped a 2-year-old. He's not going to want to come out and play anymore. No.
I got a theory for that too.
What's the theory?
For the Hulk, the way he's gonna come back, and I'm thinking in the next one, like how he's gonna bring, because they have to get him mad or he has to get angry. How's another way to bring him angry? Where would he see him seeing Black Widow, nothing happen? What does it bring Betty Ross back? And something's gonna happen to her.
No, it could be. Maybe.
To bring out the Hulk, because that's his.
I mean, there could be a lot of different things. I mean, maybe they'll try and kill off Bruce. Then he comes.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that even Bruce Sam said. Like he tried to pull a bullet in his head, and the other guy stopped him. There is a Funko toy that's out there where it's Hulk coming out of the Hulkbuster. It's ripped from the inside out. That could also happen. Like I think both of the movies were filmed together.
Yeah.
So they just split it in half and they stopped it right then and there. So essentially, it's like a 7-hour movie.
Yeah.
They just hour and a half, and then probably 2 hours and a half, and now another 2 hours and a half.
So there's still a lot of stuff that we're gonna see in there.
From what I was told and what I've been hearing and theories that I have is that part 4 of this Avengers movie, or the next part of it, is going to take 5 years into the future. And the theory that I have behind that is that they cast a teenager to play Scott Lang's
I seen
daughter for Avengers.
Really?
Yeah. So that leads me to believe that at the end of maybe Ant-Man and Wasp, I think Scott Lang might be one of the people that disappear. Like as their story is unfolding, things are going on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then because even if you watch the ending of that movie, Nick Fury and Maria Hill are like scrambling and not knowing what's going on. They know something's going on, and then cars are stopping or hitting cars, and helicopters are coming out of the sky. And then one of them starts disappearing. Obviously, the world knows something's going on. They just know the scope of it. And then now half of the universe is disappearing.
Right.
So who's to say that as this is going on, Scott is having his own adventure, and then movie's over and it starts fading away.
I think it's Wasp because he is with Iron Man in the picture. So they're working together.
Well, it could be
Hank
Pym.
Pym.
Be anything. I mean, that could show up as a after credits scene.
Yeah.
To connect.
And the reason I'm saying is because in the books, again, his daughter becomes a hero called Stature. That could be introducing the Young Avengers.
It's very possible. Anything is possible.
I
have a very good feeling that we're going to see a lot of time travel on this.
Yeah. So
Avengers
I mean,
well, how would they do that?
Time stone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one. That wasn't the movie. You probably missed it because you were too busy cheering. But the Time Stone and
Spider-Man.
Well, what about that thing that they have? Remember how Tony was leaning on it, and then Doctor Strange hit him with it? Like, don't lean on that.
Oh, that is just for Doctor Strange to look into the past and the future.
I thought that could use that too.
That's what he used it because in the comic books, it's not an Infinity Stone that he has, the Eye of Agamotto. It's something else. But he uses a cauldron to look into time. Right. That's what that was used for. So I mean, granted, in this case, it's kind of useless.
Yeah.
Unless they decide to change it, unless they decide to make
that Wong's got a
possible, time traveling.
That's what I was thinking.
We don't know.
Yeah,
it could be. It's a good catch. I mean, it could be.
But ultimately, all this was according to plan, and I don't know.
I agree.
And I don't know if somewhere along the lines, Doctor Strange had to have told Tony what's going to happen. Because there was a little pause, and I think they may have a jump scene when he's all like, "Why did you give him the stone?" And he's all like, "I had to. That was the only way." And again, after 14 million possibilities, there was only one way. This has to be the way. And honestly, what a better way for that to happen than the unthinkable? to happen. No, I gotta give this. All this gotta happen. This is gonna happen, and then it's up to you guys.
And that's like maybe that's
No, they
why
did
I'm
a great
jaded.
job.
Maybe that's why I'm jaded or whatever, or maybe it's just I pay more attention to most people. But when everybody else is talking about like how this movie hurt them and why Marvel, why you do this to me, I'm like, weren't you paying attention? There's magic in this movie.
There's magic.
Anything can happen.
I mean, even Nihai said that
there's a freaking time stone.
about
Come on, people. Pay
about,
attention.
I don't know if you guys caught this in the beginning of the movie.
Nope.
That when Iron Man was with Pepper,
Yeah.
Pepper's wearing an Iron Man suit because the jumper is the same thing as Tony was wearing.
I think they just went out for a jog.
No, but because even they say that
It's possible.
there was a leak picture on her account that she had little like those dots for.
Oh yeah, and I remember that.
And they removed that.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
I mean, that might be coming.
And remember, he wants to protect her no matter what.
You know what would be really cool is if they maybe do come out. Ooh. What if they call the next one the new Avengers?
The new Avengers, yeah.
It could be.
Avengers 4, the new Avengers. That would be.
But
awesome.
they were saying
I wouldn't even put it
opens up with replacements because if you said that they're going to open up the movie 5 years later,
I'm hoping
because they said even
they might open up with new Avengers with all.
They may drop
heroes.
Avengers Forever.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I'm like, just way too cheesy. I think that's all. I think that's one of those.
if you were there,
one of those titles to just move people away from what's really going on.
I think New Avengers would work.
Whatever.
New Avengers
Fantastic Four.
or even like I said, even if they do Battle World, that would be good. Because he just snapped his fingers. Who knows how else the world changed?
Everybody wants Secret War, right? That's like everybody's like theory. Oh, Secret War.
No, you just want it because of the black costume.
No, that too. But everybody.
Why are you so impressed with that black costume? Let me ask you that.
I just like his powers with that. He's so strong.
So you like Spider-Man's costume because he could climb on walls, he could shoot webs.
I think it's because when he has a costume, he has two personalities that trying to take over his good side and his bad side.
But that we see
black and white.
But to me,
the yin and yang.
But to me, that's a Spider-Man story. I don't think that's really an Avengers story.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I know you were interested in watching that costume,
I guess I like Spider-Man. I like all his costume, and that's one of my favorite costumes, the black suit.
I want to see Spider-Ham.
There's
Spidey Universe movie. He'll come out.
Yeah, he'll
happen.
Well, I'm hoping.
Happen.
I'm still holding out that Howard the Duck is going to be the one that saves the universe.
Imagine that he had the gauntlet.
That'd be funny. There's a lot of stuff that could possibly happen.
Can we expect?
Yeah, I just didn't get how people don't understand that this isn't
it has to
permanent.
Can we expect to top the next movie? Top this one?
Yeah.
Well, to me, it didn't rank as one of my top 5 movies in Marvel so far.
Well, I mean, it was a good movie.
No, I'm not gonna take it away from it. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go watch it again. I really did enjoy the movie. For me, still, Iron Man, the first Iron Man was probably top of my list, followed by the very first Avengers when they got together.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 on my top. I mean,
I could put this one.
I put this one above Age of Ultron.
I put this one like at number 5, maybe. On my number 5.
I put this above.
But number 5, okay, are we talking about number 5 it's just Marvel, or are we talking about number 5?
No, Marvel, like
movies of all time.
Marvel movies.
Like one
for Marvel movies, it's kind of like I still Iron Man 1 because that set it all off, and just to see all my characters get together for the first time, I'm gonna go with Avengers. Spider-Man: Homecoming. In all honesty, to me, Black Panther is still the top Marvel movie this year so far.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Black Panther, yes, for me.
For you,
yes.
Okay. For me, I'd actually have to say that for
Infinity
Marvel
War.
movies.
This year. I'm saying this year.
Infinity War, I think.
Well, I'm talking
because
about
I still got Ant-Man and Wasp to come in. So
I'm talking about for the past 10 years, the Marvel movies.
No, I'm talking about this year, right now.
Infinity War would have to be my favorite. My number.
Really?
One. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
only because there was a lot of stuff that Marvel did with this movie that they've never done before.
No, don't get me wrong.
And it was done extremely well.
It was very well.
All these
but the reason I'm not putting it on my top is because I only got half a movie.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
So, but
that was the whole point.
I'm hoping that the other part.
I'm waiting
Avengers
for the
4,
other shoe to drop.
I'm hoping that Avengers 4 is going to come off as a kind of a separate story.
It is probably.
It is, and it is, and it is. It's going to be. For me, if you guys ever watch Harry Potter, it's Deathly Hallows 1 and Deathly Hallows 2.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it was its own contained story, but it's still a continuation of the other one.
When is
Yeah.
Infinity War 2, whatever, is gonna come in 2019, right? Is it
Next year?
Next year.
Yeah.
So maybe they already have planned that once this one movie comes out, they could fit the new characters that Fox.
Well, the movie's already
The
done.
movie's done. Yeah,
Well, they
finished
probably
it.
did the same thing with Spider-Man. Spider-Man wasn't for sure we got him or not. It was a surprise.
It wasn't for sure that
Yeah.
we knew. They knew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. They know they already have the rights for everybody, so they might introduce
Well, that's
somebody.
what we're saying. We have no idea.
Yeah, they
what-
might even
because they
throw-
have new
We're
characters or
not
what.
we're not saying it's not gonna happen. Like, look, what we're saying
Oh,
is
yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
the movie's already done. It's all a secret, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, by the way, we have the rights to these." Oh, maybe they'll show up and like, "No, the movie's already done. They already saw the trailers."
I
I'm
think
not
that's
knocking it.
Yeah.
What I'm knocking is that for right now, I got half a movie. Like, I can't really, for me, when Deathly Hallows for Harry Potter again came out, I got half a movie. I didn't knock it. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it, but now I have to watch the second part to watch what happens.
Yeah.
But see, this one didn't leave you like, what happened? Like, what's next?
Well, but
It
see,
did.
but
Everyone's gone.
No.
But to me, it didn't. To me, it ended.
No, yeah.
And I honestly could just walk away from this movie going like,
But everybody
cool.
dead.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's dead.
No, I could walk away. and
Yeah,
go,
I know, I'm
cool,
good with
we're
it.
done.
No.
Yeah, but I know Thanos has got to get his because he's still
Yeah.
out there. That's what I'm saying. I'm still getting half a movie. Actually, I laughed hard when all the little kids were like Spider-Man.
Hey, but the death scene of him, that was a strong one right there.
Well, it was a strong. Okay,
No,
okay. No,
you-
hold on,
it-
hold
it-
on,
It
hold
was,
on.
dude. Like,
It was
hey,
a strong one because
Oh,
they
my God.
let him talk before he floated away.
Yeah.
But you want to know why?
Because
They-
of Spider-Man.
Yeah, no,
Because of
no,
Black
no. They actually explained that the reason that he felt it was his spider sense. So he didn't feel well because he's the only one. Everyone else just drifted away and didn't say anything.
Mhm.
But according to him, according to what I read in some of the reports, that Russo said the reason you got more from him is because his spider sense knew something bad was going to happen and he felt it. That's when he says, "I don't feel good, Mr. Stark."
Yeah.
So that is what, and that was actually all improvised from Holland,
Hmm.
the actor. What's it called? But it was actually shown as they said that the reason he said something and he felt something was because of the spider sense. They kind of introduced it, didn't say much on it.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of like, I don't feel good, Mr. Stark. I think something like, because he knew everyone else, maybe with the exception of Doctor Strange, because he saw his own mortality,
Yeah.
because he saw what happens, but he kept his mouth shut. But everyone else just, like, faded away. I mean,
Yeah,
they
everybody
saw,
else faded away quick.
like,
But
what's
it
happening.
It looked like the Spider-Man scene though, where he fades away, just took a lot longer than.
Yeah, no,
with
because he
everybody
knew what he
Hey.
felt something coming on,
Uh-huh.
and knowing at that point, I'm pretty sure Spider-Sense probably like, look, we're gonna die.
Yeah,
So that one was one of the ones that, okay, I expect that one. Okay, good.
What did you guys think about what's the guy from the little guy that did
Oh, Peter Dinklage?
Yeah.
I love that they made him a giant.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I thought
that
it
thing
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he looked great. I mean, I love Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
Even his Doritos commercial, like,
I know.
terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, when you see him in comedy movies, I crack up. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's
I love him in
he
Elf.
makes me laugh. Oh yeah, he was amazing in Elf.
No, I refuse to see Pixel.
Call me an Elf one more time.
Yeah.
yeah,
Pixel. I know he was in
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
yeah,
in
yeah,
Pixel.
I see it. I haven't watched that one because
Nope.
I don't know.
He does really good.
Adam Sandler has been letting me down.
He was the best character in that movie.
No.
Because when he comes on screen, I was like, yeah. I mean, it just
Oh, what?
it changed the whole
There's
movie.
something I don't
for
know.
me.
I don't know what it was. I just couldn't watch
You
Pixel.
didn't want to see Pac-Man.
No, I love Pac-Man. I loved it, but the thing is, it was Adam Sandler.
Yeah, but it's one of those movies where you just don't. You just leave your
You
brain.
ignore-
you
yeah,
leave your
just
brain
watch it.
outside before you go in to watch it.
And honestly, as much as people say they hated it, I really did like Grown Ups.
First one,
First one, what's the second one? Second one was
Chocolate
okay.
Wasted?
second one was kind of weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Grown Ups was
First one was
great.
great.
Yeah,
I love the
Grown
first
was a
one.
classic.
Yeah, first
Yeah,
one was
and
good.
I'll watch the second one just because there's a couple other lines that are there
Mhm.
that are just funny to me.
Shaq.
Shaq,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was good.
But back to
Yeah, that's
back,
what I'm saying.
back to Infinity. Yeah, I'm still waiting to see what happens. Again, a great movie.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I'm gonna go watch it again. It was expected. There's still, like we talked about the trailers, certain aspects were not in the movie, which leads me to believe they're gonna be in the next part.
Well, the trailers didn't really show nothing. If you really think about it, they didn't really show nothing.
They showed
Because
the Hulk.
because they were showing everything for Avengers 4.
Well, I guess.
Like I said, they showed the Hulk. They showed
Yeah.
the Battle of New
You
York
know,
all
this
over
is-
again. Because I remember one of the trailers, you see
Yeah.
Captain America in his first costume
Yeah.
in the Avengers
But see,
with
that's my point.
I'm gonna tell
With-
you, like, when I seen the pictures of Thanos without his helmet, I really didn't like it. I was like, they don't look good. But once you get into the movie, it looks perfect.
Well,
I have no
I
problem.
think Josh Brolin just kills it.
No, Josh Brolin was great.
Yeah, he was amazing.
That
yeah.
and the fact that they really put some money into
his
the
CGI.
CGI. But you see every
His expression.
every expression on his
Well, he
face.
was in a mocap suit, which is one of the things he talked about one of the talk shows. I guess he talked to Ruffalo. He's like, should I do the movie? Should I not? He's like, yeah, go ahead. The only thing is you're going to be in pajamas when everyone else is in costume. Like you're going to be in pajamas with a whole bunch of dots on your face.
Yeah.
And after a while, he's all like, after a while you hate it. But yeah, no, I mean, so his facial expressions were his own, so the acting was great. I mean, everyone's acting was great. Yeah. Everyone.
Yeah.
The acting, I have no problem with the story. I have no problem with this. But again, I'm just waiting.
Like for me, like I was telling you guys, I think this is the first time I was cheering for a villain.
Actually, you know what? Now I think about it, that Infinity War trailer again. We go back to that part where it shows Thanos has got the gauntlet coming down on Captain America. And you only see 2 Infinity Stones on that gauntlet. In the movie, okay, now that scene in the trailer, Captain America looks a lot older than he does in this movie.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
It did to me. Now, if our theory is correct that the second movie, that Avengers 4 takes place 5 years later, maybe that's why.
But that scene already happened.
But the scene in the trailer's only got 2 Infinity Stones. When he shows up to fight Captain
honestly,
America,
I think
maybe he's got 5 Infinity Stones.
They have for me the trailer. They have to remove those Infinity Stones because kind of like, oh, he's gonna get them all at the end. So from what I saw in the trailers, I thought he had the 2, and he's fighting the whole entire. And I would see him getting maybe 2 or 3. And then the next movie is going to pick up where he picks up all the stones, and that's where I was expecting. And we even had theories that the stone was in Wakanda.
Yeah.
And
Soul Stone.
Yeah.
We
were way off.
Yeah, we had theories for everything.
We were way off.
We were nowhere close.
But that was to me that was a lot of the misdirection.
What stone is that? The one
Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I got that the part that we seen Gamora as a kid, they're all in there. So I think everybody that dies all in there.
No, well, that's most likely what happened because. If you look at the description, it does trap souls in it. It does
because the way he sees her as his little one.
Now, here's the other thing. This is something that somebody else had brought up to me. Now, remember that Thanos has to go and give up his most loved possession in order to get the Soul Stone. Yeah, now, if they take that Infinity Gauntlet away from him,
who's gonna do it? Captain?
Yeah. So let's say Iron Man, yields the Infinity Gauntlet. Does that mean that he's gonna have to give up?
No.
A soul in order for him to...
Because that was to retrieve the stone. The stone's already been retrieved.
Okay.
That was part of like a trap or the puzzle to solve to get that stone. You have to sacrifice, pretty much like the Red Skull said, a soul for a soul.
Right.
So he pretty much had... So that's what he did. But that was to get the stone. That's the reason the Red Skull could never get it.
Right.
Because he didn't have nobody he loved, and the only one he loved was himself, which means he had to sacrifice himself, which is something he wouldn't do because he wouldn't be able to get the stone. So the gauntlet's already out. That was the kind of like the puzzle to get the stone out. You really don't. I don't think you have to sacrifice anyone else again.
No, thinking that.
So, what are you guys' thoughts though on the gauntlet looking like it's been destroyed?
I kind of like it.
Yeah, but
what was the reason for that?
Yeah.
It was too much power because ultimately the dwarves.
He made a stronger one, right?
Well, that was the mold that he had. That was his mold, and that's why I thought it was pretty cool. If you watch Thor Ragnarok, how Hela said they're fake. This is a fake, and I didn't think about it till later on. Somebody pointed it out to me. That was a right-handed glove.
Yeah.
The Infinity Gauntlet has always been left-handed.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, oh yeah, that is a fake because it's a right-handed gauntlet. And not only that, but if you notice, the stones are perfectly smooth. They're perfect. They're gems, like legit gems, like the way that was in the comic books, where this one's got rough edges and bigger, and some are smaller than others. So I mean, you wield the whole entire cosmos in your hand, and if you notice, he used one at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until the end
that he probably used all of them, and I think the ultimately couldn't handle that.
All right, I had a question. The hammer that Thor has, isn't that Billy Ray?
That's the name of Beta Ray Bill's
right.
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, Stormbreaker. Yeah.
But Thor actually wielded it before Beta Ray. Thor meets Beta Ray later on, and they actually fight.
There's a couple weapons. Yeah. He lifted Mjolnir. He got his powers. They went to Odin. They had him fight to the death. And then Beta Ray Bill won, but didn't kill him and brought him back, and then gave him Stormbreaker. But there's a couple other ones like even Thunderstrike, Thundercrack. Yeah, that was a mace. That was also. There's a whole bunch of weapons.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different hammers.
Yeah,
but that was awesome though. The way they did that.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, I think Thor was the best part of this movie.
I think to me the combination of Thor and Rocket.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, yeah.
But
That was great.
You know,
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
You
I mean,
notice
it was almost like every scene that Thor was in.
But see,
I
that's
loved.
the thing that they went with the funny Thor from Thor Ragnarok, because in the first Thors he wasn't that funny.
Well,
And
yeah,
I think
I mean, he
this
was
was-
kind of funny when he first was
Yeah,
with the
but-
Guardians.
No, they had a couple things. It was kind of like
No.
when even in part 2 when he like
But-
hung his hammer up like his keys.
Yeah.
But
know.
I mean, it wasn't like those two movies are like, okay, whatever. Like the third one is like, oh yeah, this is Thor. And this one, even he was good. It was
Well,
like,
that's because they wanted it to be more Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's why he hooks up with Guardians
That's
of the
to me, that
Galaxy.
was
and it was
more
a
Guardian-
perfect combination
Mhm.
where him and Rocket Raccoon. Oh, Rabbit.
Yeah, Rabbit.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of Groot.
No.
No, but granted, he's a teenage Groot,
Yeah.
so he was kind of an a-hole.
Yeah.
Although, I really did like the part where Groot
Pick
made
up
the handle.
the handle.
No, yeah, that was.
You know,
I
I
think
thought
at
that
that
was great.
I think at that point, like he was like a whatever character because he's a teenager.
Mhm.
But then he saw things coming up, and I think
He was very emo.
I think he was very into Thor as a hero. I think he just needed. He has all these people he's traveling with in the ship, so he looks at them as his family.
Right.
So it's kind of like to him, he's just like, oh, I just have like this is my new football hero.
And they
Right.
call him
Ready to score a
They
touchdown.
call him Tree. My friend
Yeah.
Tree.
yeah.
Oh,
And he speaks Groot.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So he speaks Groot.
That was
And
awesome.
another part that I really did enjoy was when Rocket is talking to the Winter Soldier.
Oh
And
yeah.
he wants how much for the gun?
gun.
And he's all like, oh, it's not for sale. Like, well, how much for the arm? Like, I'm going to get the arm.
Yeah, that
What
was
about
funny.
when Thor and Star Lord were talking like with the D voice?
Oh, that cracked me up when
man.
Star-Lord was...
He's
Trying to-
copying me.
He's copying me. Are you mocking me?
That was funny.
That was
really
good. And just the fact that Thor got a new eye.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was great. That was.
That's
I
what
didn't
I'm saying. Like,
expect
it's
that.
like... To
There was
me,
a
it was
couple
like,
things, though, yeah.
almost every scene Thor was in, I loved.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You
So
know, it was,
I'm
like, so
hoping
good.
they're going to find a way to have him join the Guardians, even though his
That would
contract's
be
already
really
up.
cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Well, he don't have nobody no more.
No, he doesn't.
What happened to
As far as we know.
what's that?
You gotta reverse everything. bring
You
everybody
could.
back.
You could. They could easily say anyone that was killed by Thanos comes back.
Mhm.
So that would be Gamora. That would be all of Asgard. That would be Loki. And that would be half of the universe that was
Oh,
destroyed.
Loki was killed. So I don't.
That's what I'm saying. If you
They-
say
oh,
anyone that Thanos killed
Yeah.
Oh, you could
comes
bring him
back.
Well, I mean,
Well,
and that would be all of Gamora's civilization that he destroyed.
yeah, that's true.
That would be everybody that Thanos has ever killed. I mean, it's a time stone, reality stone, power stone. So
Yeah.
anything is.
I mean, we'll find out. I mean, I have no idea where they're going with this movie and everything, but I mean, we've got a lot of theories
Yeah.
as to what's going to happen. I think Iron Man is going to be the main hero.
No, yeah, I think it has
Yeah.
to in a way.
I
Just
think
so,
it's just going to come full circle for him. It
Yeah.
just, to me, it feels like they've been leading that up.
And then
For
in
him
the
to
end,
be-
he'll get married, and everybody's gonna be there.
Well, you did hear that part where you might not have heard it, Nihai, but he was talking to Pepper, and they were talking about even wanting to have a
Okay,
kid.
he
Well,
wants
no,
to have a kid.
He had
Yeah.
a dream that she was having a kid or something like that.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
yeah.
And then he named them by, I guess in the comics is one of his cousins. But
yeah, it's wound up an evil. He
evil
was,
cousin. He even has an armor too.
yeah, he's
He's a metal when you make the trumpets. What is that metal called?
brass.
Yeah, that's his name.
Huh.
Yeah, he was he names his kid after a relative of him that winds up like he's always trying to steal Tony's money in the comic book.
Really?
So yeah, it wasn't like a major because I think in the comic book it winds up being that Tony was actually adopted by the Starks. He's not actually
Yeah.
a Stark,
Yeah.
and his brother was putting it.
Yeah, because there was a short series that just came out last year where
The Last
Tony was
Family.
trying to find his original dad,
Yeah, his real dad and his brother is like in an iron lung looking thing.
something like that.
Yeah.
Well, what were your guys' favorites moments in this movie? Nihai?
I like
Spider-Man?
I like the scene when I like the scene when Iron Man was gonna get hit by the hammer and out of nowhere Spider-Man catches it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple other things here.
I
and
liked
there.
it but I really wanted to see Spider-Man with his original suit more than what we got.
Okay, but what about the legs?
Oh,
I was really excited.
Better
about
than the
they-
black costume.
nah.
Yeah, I'd have to say yeah.
Uh,
I really like the way he really utilized those legs in several parts of the
Yeah,
movie.
no, it came in handy for him. I'm
Yeah.
glad they did the four
Four
legs
legs,
as opposed
yeah.
to the three that was in
Yeah.
the comic book. I'm glad they actually put the costume on him for the simple reason he can't survive in space.
That was
Oh,
great
yeah,
too,
that was
because when
good,
I saw
yeah.
that,
well,
and when
our
Tony
theory
called
was-
for it, I was like, "Here it
Yeah,
comes!"
our theory was that because he was being in space. That's when
Yeah, that's
black,
what we said.
the black costume, you know.
That was your
Well, that
theory.
was my
Well,
theory. Well, a lot
I
of
thought we
people's
said
theory.
that was going to be one of the reasons why he would have
The black suit.
iron.
Iron
Oh,
Spider.
Iron
Yeah.
Spider.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we got right.
So then,
Now the one thing that is possible for you is that the Iron Spider can actually change
colors.
costume look. He
Yeah.
can go into his old costumes and all
Yeah.
this other stuff. So, but he hasn't been introduced into the Venom, and I think Venom is going to be the first indication
Well,
of it.
hell,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the first time he wears the costume, so I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't really have any time to play with it.
Yeah.
You know, like he did in his own movie.
Yeah, because even when it happened is like he was getting sucked out in space, and then they just popped out
Yeah.
instinctively.
Yeah. Well, it hit him. It caught him or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he was falling, and then it caught him. And
Yeah.
then-
So I mean, I'm trying to think what my favorite part. Probably you're right. The Thor scenes are really good. The interaction between Doctor Strange and
Iron Man.
were pretty funny.
Yeah.
There was some pretty good chemistry. Star-Lord being Star-Lord, to me, that wasn't anything new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a couple scenes like when from the comic book. Granted, it wasn't the same characters because he did it to Nebula.
Oh, Nebula and
when he
his
turned her
brother.
into Ribbon.
And his brother.
Yeah.
And he turned her into Ribbon, but it was Mantis, and then he turned Drax into Stones.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know, that happened. That was part of the comic book. Granted, again, it wasn't
It was his brother.
Yeah, his brother and I think Nebula.
And
He did
Nebula,
that
yeah.
too. So like little nods here and there.
Yeah, there was quite a few nods.
A lot.
They just changed
even
characters.
the Spider-Man when he threw spider web to Donald and then Donald dropped him on the floor. That's the same thing in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They use
There was a couple things in there. That's about it. Nothing really stands out because there was so much going on.
Yeah.
The one thing we didn't see that I think everyone was expecting, the interaction between Tony Stark and Captain America, that didn't happen.
Yeah, not yet.
I'm pretty sure the next one's gonna take on where they're gonna regroup
Yeah.
and see who's left and see
Yeah.
who else they could find. Because obviously, Captain Marvel's gonna. Well, SOS was sent to her.
The thing is with Captain Marvel, she's been already around because isn't she based like in the 90s?
Now, see,
80s.
here's an interesting thing, and I've even got some other theories on the Captain Marvel movie now. I'm thinking that Captain Marvel movie might show Thanos going to the Nova Corps to get that first
yeah.
stone.
Because they're saying that they're bringing back.
Because he says that in the beginning of the movie. He had already got the first stone from Nova Corps.
It's a possibility because the movie of Captain Marvel is going to be played in the 80s where Nick Fury still has his eyes. Coulson's going to be in it.
Right.
So that's too far.
Well, I think it's going to start there to build
and
up
then
her.
she leaves.
Yeah, but it could end
I mean,
connecting
I'm
it to Infinity
Yeah,
War.
she
It's got
couldn't.
to.
Yeah.
I would think that
They
it's
gotta
gonna
connect it to that. They have to connect.
So the connection is that Captain Marvel is. I mean, because in all honesty, something's gonna happen where why wasn't she called for the Battle of New York? Something's so it has to be something very, 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 very ginormously bad for Nick Fury to send out the message on a super pager.
Right.
I mean, because other things have happened. Ultron happened. With granted. Okay, I get it. But now if Earth is being attacked by aliens, I don't understand why you wouldn't call Captain Marvel if you already know of her. I mean, so it could be like, you know what? If her
fighting the squirrels and he's one of them.
Skrulls.
Yeah.
but she's Kree.
Yeah, but it still wouldn't make sense. I mean, I get what you're saying. Why he wouldn't calling her the first time?
Yeah. So something, I'm pretty sure she's off either trying to figure out her powers or trying
out of the universe or something,
or
They'll
even
probably say that. In the movie.
yeah, or even because she is her powers are Kree. She could be with the Kree. I mean, because I don't think they have the rights to the Skrull because of the rights that they have with
No,
the
they
Fantastic
haven't
Four.
because they show pictures of them in the drawings from the movie. They show them in the drawings.
Yeah, but that might just be them,
Hoping,
experimenting
yeah.
and trying to get ahead for when they do get the rights. But we don't know. I mean, it's still way too early, I think, for that.
Yeah,
We still have to finish this.
as soon as you get the title,
Yeah.
you'll know what's going on.
The other thing too, though, is okay. What about Adam Warlock?
Yeah.
I mean, they already dropped a hint of him.
And then that's it.
Yeah,
But then that's another thing. She could be bringing Adam Warlock with them.
that's what I was thinking.
So I mean,
It's all up
There's
in the
so
air.
I mean,
many different
because
things
in all
that
honesty,
could go.
here's
Yeah,
the things that I want to see happen because if I remember correctly, they want to go cosmic
Mhm.
for Phase 4. So if you're gonna go cosmic, then you're gonna need what they could play with is gonna be Adam Warlock. It's gonna be Captain Marvel,
Yep.
and I'm hoping a Nova Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that
yeah.
too. Yeah,
That's what I'm
that-
thinking.
yeah.
So
I would think it would.
So
it would
I'm
come into play.
I'm
Definitely.
hoping that because she knows, well, she's not gonna know exactly what's going on. She's gonna bring another cosmic crew
Mhm.
to help out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Infinity Gauntlet, the comic book, was great. I mean, it had everyone fighting. The villains, the heroes.
Right.
You know, you had Fantastic Four, you had X-Men, you had Avengers, you had Spider-Man, you had Daredevil, you had all these.
Mhm.
It was epic. It was epic. You don't have that here because they can't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Silver Surfer played a good role.
But even still, considering that they didn't have like half of the Marvel universe there in this movie,
Yeah.
it was still like
No, it was great.
a lot of
I mean,
characters.
they made do with what they had.
Yeah. Can you
And-
imagine if they had all those
Oh,
characters
man.
though? This movie probably would have been 4 hours long.
Yeah. It would have been like
And-
more
and-
than
in
2
all
parts.
honesty, if they wanted, well, it is 2 parts.
No, I mean, that would have been more like maybe
No, but
3
what,
parts.
but what I'm saying is that the way they did it worked great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These
it
people
came
are in
out
space,
really good.
these people are in Titan, these people are on Earth. And it worked great. So all you had to do is incorporate a couple more characters here and there,
Mhm.
which you definitely want, let's say like your Daredevils, and other characters on Earth that can't go up into space.
Yeah.
But could have worked, but I think at that point it would have been too much. There's certain things that only work for pages. There are certain things that all work on the big screen. It was done well. It was done acting was great. The story was amazing. At the same time, the melding of different characters like Thor with the Guardians
like
and
the
team ups were really, really good. They were played. So it makes me wonder, like, did they actually like each other? I mean, because here come the Avengers, and
Right.
here's like, oh god, we got to play nice with the Guardians of the Galaxy type.
Yeah.
This crew and that crew. I want to see a dodgeball game against the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
With the Ravagers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with it, so much.
There was a lot of stuff in there, but everything was done good.
Yeah, it was a really, really good movie. It's a first of its kind.
Yeah.
To have that many characters.
Yeah.
All together. I'm excited to see the next one, but it's not like I'm going to lose sleep over it. I'm not losing sleep over this.
There's still a couple pieces they gotta put into place.
I know that these
Because
people that are supposedly dead are not going to stay dead.
No.
Because we saw set photos of Jeremy Renner,
Well, that
Ronan.
this is my theory on that.
I'm wondering if he'll pop up in Ant-Man and Wasp.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he could be like, we gotta go because this happened.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe his wife dies or his kid, and that's how he becomes Ronan.
No, I think he's gonna come just so he could hide his identity because they talked about. I mean, granted, like you said, you were making a lot of noise, and if you guys were in the theater with Nihai, he was the one that was making all the noise.
Everybody.
But they said he went underground just to protect his family, and that was an agreement that he made with the government.
Mm-hmm.
So
also come back.
So it's kind of like it's not Hawkeye who came back; it's a new character named Ronan who came back.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, that's the only way you're going to protect.
And if they do a bunch of time jumping in the next movie, we might see Ronan running around.
Alternate universe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's too much. Let's not do alternate universes.
There's
already way too much stuff going on.
A couple things you have to look into is toy sales.
Yeah.
And a lot of I hate to say it, but for a lot of movies like Transformers, they had to change up all these characters, get rid of new Transformers because they have to make more toys.
Yeah.
So I already have Iron Man toys, I already have Thor toys. So let's see what else we can come out. And here's a character named Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a character,
Donald. They made a new Donald.
Yeah.
And it's...
So now it's kind of like they have to introduce new characters if they want to do the new Avengers.
Well, yeah. Plus, these actors are getting old.
Yeah.
They can't do it forever.
Can't.
That's why
Robert Downey
Hugh Jackman left.
Yeah.
Because he just couldn't, do that to his body anymore.
And you could see that. You could see Tony is he's already old.
Well, I mean, there's other stuff that Robert Downey Jr. can do in the movies. He can just do a Jarvis voice.
Yeah. Or just be in the back that controlling everybody, doing whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's very possible. But that's if he wants to do
it.
Even
War Machine was looking
But Captain America, I mean, he can't do that forever.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it's kind of like the only one that seems like still down to do it is Hemsworth.
Yeah.
I think Hemsworth,
but he's in his prime.
Hemsworth is just down for whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially now that Thor is finally starting to really, be a front man.
Yeah, everybody likes.
People are really starting to love him now. So it would be kind of weird for them to not try and keep him around.
What about the Hulk? Keep the Hulk around for a while?
Well, the Hulk will always be there. I just don't know if there's a story for a solo movie. I think.
Well, again, that's where another studio owns the rights to a solo.
Yeah,
Universal. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Universal owns the right to that.
Yeah.
That's the reason we got.
Just have them team up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense to me.
I like how they have his own ice cream flavor. What is it, Gamma Crunch? something or other. That was funny. Well, that being said, tell us what you guys thought about this and what are your theories of what's going to happen with the next movie. What do you guys think is who's going to really come back and who's really going to be gone?
Yes.
Yeah, give us your comments. Give us your
what do you
your
want to see back first?
What did you guys think of the movie? What do you think that was going to happen? Do you
did you cry?
Yeah, are you done with Marvel? Are you just giving the middle finger to them? Are you walking away?
Who wants to see the black Spider-Man suit? Drop your comments if you want to see the Spider-Man suit.
You're going to see a black suit in October.
Really bad one, but
yeah, just wait for that. Yeah, that's pretty much our all over the place
review
on Infinity War. We do love the movie. We thought it was a great movie. It is a good movie.
Amazing movie.
It's what do you think? It's a must-see movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you have to watch it just so you can see from 10 years of work that they put into it.
Let me ask you guys, you think if somebody just never seen the Avenger movies and see this movie, can it make sense to it?
No, it'd be really,
you have to watch.
Really hard.
You definitely have to watch it.
I think I did see people that never seen Avengers because it was done, they walked away.
Yeah, everyone that saw Black Panther.
A lot of people that walked away.
I think that would still be okay if you've at least seen Avengers and you would have an idea as to what's going on in this movie.
Maybe if you just seen the three Avengers, like the two first Avengers, and then see this one.
I don't even think you need to see Age of Ultron, really. I mean, if you've seen Avengers, the first Avengers movie, and you watch this movie,
you get introduced to
okay.
I would disagree because you have to watch. Okay, if you watch the first Avengers, right, and you watch this Avengers, you have to watch Guardians,
right?
Yeah, because they're characters in the movie.
Yeah, but you already seen Avengers, so therefore you are familiar with
the Guardians,
these different heroes.
But are you familiar with the Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, and you won't be familiar with Scarlet Witch. You won't be familiar with Vision. You won't be familiar with half of the characters.
Exactly. So at the same time, now you have to wonder, like, wait a minute, Thor lost an eye?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
It doesn't matter because he gets his eye back.
What if they only seen Spider-Man and they watched this one?
Why would only one watch? You really love Spider-Man.
What I'm looking at, though, is I'm looking as someone who picks up a comic book, has never read a comic book before, and you give them an Avengers comic book. And they're like, okay, well, what's this? Like, and you're telling them, read this. It's really good. And they read it, and they're like, oh, yeah, that was pretty good. And then you come back and say, all right, now here's Infinity War. Read that. Now, you can't just hand somebody Infinity War and expect them to understand what the hell's going on.
I just say
because there's so many characters and so many things going on.
And I get it, but
if you at least introduce them,
but at the same time, you're going on an arc, and if you're watching this movie as an arc, it's only 18 episodes. It's only 18 episode arc.
They couldn't watch any of the other
movies.
But
they're not watching. But the thing is that for me, you have to watch character introduction, character development, plot developments. And on top of it, storylines that intertwine in this movie.
Some people don't care about it.
Because I just think
then they shouldn't watch the movie.
I just think that even the hype, people are just going to watch it. Because I see so many people that I wouldn't even think they were going to watch this movie. They're watching it.
But that goes back into the reason everyone was watching Black Panther. I mean, we talked about it in our Black Panther review. Where it's kind of like people you don't normally see in these movies watch the movie because it was an interesting character. It was a character they hadn't seen. It was a group of people that weren't represented in this movie.
I think now more people are giving a superhero a chance. Like now they're going to watch.
Well, that's kind of my point. I mean, you can't tell me that this movie had 2 to 3 times more viewers than the very first Captain America movie. Or the first Avengers movie.
I can because the numbers show the record.
Yeah.
So then why is it that these people came to see this movie and didn't watch any of the other ones?
Because if you watch Black Panther, it said right there, Black Panther will return in Infinity War.
Oh, right, but that doesn't mean that they all saw.
They all
and those are the ones.
If the amount of money
those are the people that left early because they didn't know about the end credits.
If the amount of money that this movie's made is like
not to mention
close to already beating out the amount of movie that. Black Panther's done, then the number of people who've seen it surpass the number of people who have seen Black Panther.
Well, yeah, but that's because now you also have Marvel comic book fans along with people that have never been to a comic book movie. Their first introduction was Black Panther to watch these movies. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad it's bringing more people in. My goal is for people to actually start, okay, I love the movies. I'm going to start reading comic books.
Yeah.
I'm into that. I'm down with that.
But the people that saw Black Panther know nothing about Captain America, Iron Man, or Thor.
I have a feeling that a lot of people were lost.
Yeah.
And all honesty, because in my theater that I was watching, it's kind of like there were people were talking about like who's this, and I'm pretty sure you heard that too. I really did hear that a lot. And people were trying to do while we were waiting for the movie to start. I overheard people trying to really quickly catch people up of what's going on.
Yeah, because when I first seen it the first time. it got really loud because
it was
everybody
all silence when I saw
the
it.
second time.
No, it was silent when I saw it too, but beforehand, people were trying to explain to other people.
Yeah, the second time I caught that, a lot of people were like, well, what's going on with this guy? Or what's going on with who are all these people? Like, yeah.
No, I really did.
And that's kind of like my point, though. Is like, I mean, I know that there are people that are seeing this movie that don't know what the hell's going on.
Somebody said, why is there a tree and a
why,
raccoon?
And that's why I say,
do you need to watch the other ones? Yes, you do.
If you need to see anything, at least watch the first Avengers movie.
Watch the first Avenger and probably the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
But okay, if they haven't seen any of these movies, there's a reason why they don't go watch these movies.
But I think now they're gonna
go
back. So
I'm not gonna go and say I'm not gonna about to tell somebody like, oh, you want to go see Infinity War? You can't. Yeah. You have to go back and watch all the other movies first.
Well, no, but what
I'm gonna say is like, okay, well, cool, but at least try and watch Avengers first. Do me a favor, at least watch this one movie.
Because I know people.
Otherwise, you're gonna be completely lost.
And I would
what other movie would you suggest that people go see before they see Infinity War? If you could only suggest one movie,
I would suggest all of Phase 1.
No, you can't. You can
why
only
can't
suggest
I?
one.
I would say
people are not going to start a book in the middle of chapter 5.
They did that.
I know people that have. I know people that have actually jumped into Harry Potter on like the 5th book.
See, and to me, it's kind of like I don't understand why.
No, I don't. But they do it.
Yeah. And we've had the discussion before. One of my coworkers actually says I don't have to watch part 1. Mm-hmm. He has never watched the first Terminator. There's no point for me to watch the first Terminator. I watched Terminator 2. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, why? He's all like, well, what's the point of watching Terminator 1 if I know what's going to happen in Terminator 2? I'm like, you don't, because they don't, they don't show why she's training this kid because of Terminator 1. Yeah. I've seen people like, I would never go watch the Rocky 3 and be like, oh, it's a fighting movie. Yeah. What's the difference? He fights. That's all he does. But you need to get that backstory of who Rocky Balboa is. But the same thing with this. I mean, with a movie like Avengers, if you go to Infinity War and people are asking you in the theater, who's this? What's going on? Yeah. Yes, you do need to watch these other movies. Now, if you didn't like the other movies and you don't want to watch them because they didn't interest you, that's another story. But I guarantee you that a lot of the people that actually saw the movie and don't know what's going on are going to go back and watch it. I think
they didn't make sense with the jewels, the stones, what they were. The people
that's another thing. Yeah. Because in Thor,
that's another thing. Because even people that have watched every single movie more than twice,
we only
still didn't know where the hell these stones were. We only figured 5 out of 6.
But they've actually, that was the one that was hidden, and that's fine. But we knew right off the bat. First off, when we saw the Tesseract, kind of like, okay, now they're dropping Infinity Stones. Yeah. They're saying it's too dangerous for Asgard to have 2 Infinity Stones, whatever the case is, together. So now, okay, Infinity Stones are getting dropped in. And Thor Part 2 is when we saw one of the stones. Right. And Guardians, when we saw one other stone, and so there's stones all over the place. And I do believe if you have to watch as many of the Marvel movies for the last 10 years, in order for you to get a full grasp of Infinity War.
Yeah, and my only point is that I literally do know people that, like you said, will not put the time in to watch every single movie. Now, if you know people that, if you were to say, okay, you can't watch Infinity War unless you see
I would never say. I would never say you can't watch this movie. I would say you would enjoy it more if you got a backstory to it.
That's kind of my point, because I mean, if somebody were to actually go back and watch all of Phase 1, then there's no reason why they wouldn't watch all the movies.
Yeah.
But if it was somebody that I was talking to and they were like, you know what, just recommend one movie, then I would say, okay, well, at least watch the first one.
It was like me saying, hey, I'm gonna go watch Back to the Future 3. Did you watch the other 2? No, I don't need to.
Yeah. And there's people out there like that.
Yeah, no, like I said, I met one person they did see an Avengers movie, but they're like, well, I watched Age of Ultron. Mm-hmm. And they told me to watch Age of Ultron, and it's kind of like, well, did you watch anything else? No, but what's the point?
And I know people that skipped the first Captain America and they watched the 2 other ones.
And I get that one, but again, that's where the first introduction to one of the Infinity Stones is. To get a full experience, I say you have to watch the majority of the movies.
So would they have to watch The Incredible Hulk, or can they skip that?
No, because that wasn't.
It isn't. They've talked about it. I mean, they acknowledge it.
That's a part
because
in Ross comes back.
Yeah, General Ross is in there, and on top of it, in the end credit scenes of Iron Man 2, it's kind of like things are going on. So it is and it isn't part of the storyline. You could
But it
say
wouldn't be necessary. Though.
it wouldn't be necessary
No.
because your first introduction was of Avengers. If you want to get a full experience of what the cinematic scope was leading up to this movie, yes, watch the movies. If you want to be lazy about it, then just watch the Avengers movies.
When I watched the Ant Lee Hulk.
Did you walk out of that movie?
No.
I liked it.
You see?
No,
You see?
no.
You're gonna tell me?
No, I mean, I guess it's just experience to see the Hulk like in a movie. It was nice.
Ant Lee's Hulk.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that, we're out, guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Go check out the movie. Make your own comments.
We hope you enjoyed it. Leave us comments on what you think on any of this.
Make your own opinions.
And with that, we're out. See you guys next time.